Hello viewers, today for the initial checkout we have a Kenmore branded WCI air conditioner. This is the Sears and Roebuck 25397505555A air conditioner. This is from 1997. Pulls 5.2 amps, 5,450 BTU, or no, 10, whatever the heck, who cares about that. And it's R22, 12.75 ounces. Test pressure 400 on the high side, 150 on the low side. Which is not the operating pressure. There seems to be some confusion with that. Those pressures are what the factory charged up to and checked for leaks at. It does not operate anywhere near that pressure. This thing is disgusting. I can only imagine what this coil is going to look like just based off of this. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's a rotary compressor. These vents aren't really angled such that we can take a look inside there at the coil, but the fan motor is an A.O. Smith motor, which is good quality. Assembled in Mexico. Type C. Yeah, I really can't see the coil at all, but it's in bad shape. I mean, more than half of it's gone. So, looks like it's all recoverable though. I don't see any really deep gouges in there. So between the coil cleanup and the straightening and everything, this should make for a really good cleaning video. It doesn't look all that bad on the inside, considering what that register looks like on the outside. So this is the second unit that Russ gave me, and this is the unit that I recall having in my bedroom at the same house as this one. This is what it looked like on the outside. The outside is identical, but it must be a slightly different model because the control set was a hair different. This one has high, medium, and low cool, and then, or what they're calling normal. High, medium, and low normal, and high, medium, and low power saver. Whereas on my unit, it had high cool, medium cool, low cool, and power saver cool, and then fan only. The fan only was just low fan, and the power saver was just low fan. There was no higher medium for power saver. This unit doesn't have a lot of difference in speed, so it kind of makes no difference, but that's just what it was. And I always remember using it on the power saver for whatever reason. And then the temperature control. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this thing on. We'll get the meters out. We should be able to test this one pretty good because it won't... oh, I don't have the meter here. Well, we can use the kilowatt meter, and I'll just use the infrared temperature check, even though that's really not a good way to do it. The plug, I'm going to have to replace it because it's got... it's missing the ground pin. This is just a misdemeanor. The felony is still down there. Alright, so we got 119.5 the volts. Switch that over to amps. And I'm going to grab my thermometer here. And this is not a super accurate way of checking it, but it'll give us an idea as to whether or not it is working. Our ambient temperature starting off is 74. Okay, let's start with Start with it off. And we'll go down to low. Oh, junk coming out. I don't know what that is. It's very, very quiet. That was one of the things I always liked about this machine. Very quiet. And it's got a decent amount of power to it as well. The airflow was pretty good. I actually would have thought this was more of a 6000 because I had this in a 12 by 12 room with an attached bathroom. So it's a decent sized area. And it would freeze the room with no trouble. It was a really good machine. Even with the door open, it would get really cold. Now, as you can hear, there's just not a lot of difference. Let's see if there's any difference in the power draw. On high, it's 0.4 amps, 0.41, 0.4, 0.34, 0.3. So there's actually a considerable difference in the power draw, even though it really doesn't feel like there's any difference. And I can't really detect any difference there at all. I wonder if maybe the cap is going out. Sometimes that can happen. It doesn't seem like it's weak. It's definitely moving plenty of air, but the difference is just non-existent. We'll check the cap when we get a service. Alright, here we go. Everyone's favorite, a rotary compressor or a telephone call. Okay, let's try that again. Wasn't too bad. A little chatter, even though that's built pressure, you can definitely hear it got a lot quieter. It's fairly smooth now. Oh, there the chatter is again. Oh boy. That's a lot of chatter now. I'm not surprised given how bad the condenser is. Probably been running with pretty high head pressure for a while. Oh, it's cold. It's already cold. .62, and again, this is not accurate. I'm measuring the surface temperature, not the air temperature. Well, it definitely works. There's like no airflow out the back, so we're not going to run this for long. Those flat parts of the coil are already heating up pretty good. .58. Yeah, I think this has a good charge. It's working fine. Power draw is only 3.3 amps. 358, 364 watts with a power factor of 0.89. That's lower than I would have expected. I mean, 3.6 amps, that's not much power. Isn't that interesting? The 25, almost 30-year-old unit doesn't really draw much more power than a modern one, yet it cools better. Interesting. Yeah, it's getting nice and cold now. We're down to 58, 60. 56 or whatever that reading is worth. Probably not much. It feels cold. It needs some time to really build the pressure, but because of the way the condenser is, yeah, we're already getting pretty hot back here. I don't want to keep running like this. Compressor sounds much better now. Pretty quiet, not chattery. Actually remarkably quiet. Yeah, it's a really nice machine. For something this new, I'm surprised. The 90s still had some good stuff, but it was definitely starting to get cheaper. But I would say these were some of the last like really good air conditioners, and there was a couple of models that stayed decent into the 2000s, but not much. There wasn't much beyond this era that was really worth the time of day. Yeah, it feels adequately cold now. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down because of the way the condenser is. But we'll say it definitely works. Almost at 4, there we go, 4 in the nose. It's not under a lot of load right now, it's only drafting 74 degrees air through the pretty much block condenser. If it was 80 or 90 degrees, it'd be pulling a lot more power. But this is abysmal. There's no point in running it like this. It actually is getting some heat through there, but nowhere near as much as it should. Alright, let's go ahead and cut this off. Fan bearings seem good. Sounds like there's plenty of gas in there, so I definitely think we have a good charge. Okay, so this is pretty good. Very nostalgic machine. Pretty good quality unit too. Decent performance, low noise level. Not sure if we'll have a chance to get this cleaned up in time to use it this year, but this is definitely high on the list of projects.